To start a notarization where you are going to prepay it, so you're going to bill the client outside of the platform. Maybe it's title, maybe it's an attorney, maybe you just have a contract with that client that is different than the terms of what our platform charges. You will log in to your dashboard and click Payments. The Payments tab will have two different areas now. As you can see, the typical area where you withdraw money is still there. However, if you scroll down, you now see an area to add your card, to add your credit card right here. Once you click that, you'll add your credit card just as if you were a client and hit Add. Now you only have to add that credit card as needed. So once you've got it added, you won't need to do it again until you have to change your card. So to start your notarization, you are on your dashboard and you will click New Notarization. You will still be required to select your client's email address. And you can see your credit card has already been listed here. And you'll see this whether you're prepaying or not. This is now how the new notarization by Notary will look. When you upload your files, you can now differentiate what type of file you've uploaded. This will allow you to have a little bit more clarification in your journal entries. Next, you will determine the number of signers completing all of their information correctly, because if it's not correct, they will not be able to pass KBA. If you need additional witnesses that aren't listed in the signer section, please add them at this time. After that's done, you will simply hit Continue. Now, you will see a new screen. You can either save it, send it to client, or prepay. If you're saving it, it will just remain on your journal. If you are sending it to the client, then they are going to pay for the transaction on their credit card. If you click prepay, then you are going to pay for it. So in this instance, we are going to prepay. So I'm going to select prepay. You will now get the pop-up. So you will need to confirm that the information you've entered is correct. Now you need to pay the $11.99 platform fee. So you would click Confirm and Pay. Your screen will automatically refresh and you have the option to save this again for later. Send it to the client so the client can schedule with you at a later time. Schedule it with the client or notarize it. First, let's look at Schedule It. So simply click Schedule It. A pop-up will appear and you will be able to select the date and time for that notarization and then hit Schedule. When you do that, it will go to the client's journal on their side so that it can initiate when it is time. Now, if your client's ready to do this right now, you are just going to hit Notarize It, and that will send it to the client to start their KBA process. Whether you're scheduling it or notarizing it, or even sending it to the client, you'll get this confirmation that it was sent to the client's journal. Once it's time for the notarization to start, you will see your copy KBA links in your journal area. Just simply click the Open icon now. Notice the icon changed over here on the right hand side, so it is not an edit picture, it now says Open. Click Open and you can copy the KBA link to send to the client, or if you meant to bypass their KBA, you can still do that in your journal area on the notary side. As soon as your client completes the KBA and ID verification stage, you will get a new ping. So simply click select or accept and accept that notarization. You can now review the document. You can add witnesses if you selected additional witnesses to be added. However, we did not in this case, so I'm simply going to hit Next. You will see our menu options have changed a little bit. So you've got Launch Zoom, Cancel Notarization, check the signer ID. So if you click this View All, you'll be able to see the ID that was used for ID verification. You can also see we've added contact support in the menu options so that you can call or email us during session without having to look up our phone number. And we have a new button called View Agreement. I will tell you what that is about here in a moment. However, let's go to the next one. As I scroll down the page, I can select the language that my client speaks, and then I can also add files or replace files as needed. So if I needed to add a loose leaf certificate or change the file out, I would simply click the Add Files area. It's going to bring up a new pop-up window, and I will be able to choose from my computer, or I can choose from a template that I have already saved over here on the left-hand side. Once I've selected the file that I want to load, I would hit Attach in the bottom right-hand corner. Now I'm simply going to hit Next. Zoom should have auto opened for you before this point, but if it didn't do that, click the Launch Zoom in the top left-hand side of your session. Now we're ready to tag the document. If you've created a template ahead of time, you can simply click Field Templates and select the template that you have already created. It will apply all of the signature tags to the document. If you are live tagging this document, simply select the tag that you want and drag it onto the screen, making sure to adhere to the size requirements of the fields where they're going. Make sure they're big enough. When you've completed tagging the document, you will process this as a standard notarization. Talk to your clients, obtain their ID information, put them under oath, ascertain their free will, and now you are ready to hit Send. Previously, our screen stopped here, but now with this new View Agreement button, you can monitor this notarization all the way through the end from this one window. So simply click View Agreement. You now see the document in progress, and you can see you can hit a reminder, you can cancel the document, or you can still modify the tags on the document over here on the right-hand side. You can see that 0 people have completed this yet, and you can see who needs to sign it. So now we will just refresh our screen after the first signer has completed. Simply click Go Back and click View Agreement again. Once that screen refreshes, you are able to see the first signer has completed the signing. You can see the green check mark. In addition to that, you can see the signer has signed the document. After the second signer has done, in this instance the final signer, simply click your go back and view document again, and you'll be able to see that 2 people have completed this document. Now you can see all of the signatures and all of the information on the screen. And finally, you will go up and click Complete Notarization. Since we've prepaid this, when we enter a 1, there is no additional fees. So for a 1 stamp document, the notary will pay $11.99 total. If you've got more stamps on that document, check this out. The system will only charge you for additional stamps in excess of 2. So 2 stamps will cost $1. 3 stamps will cost $2. In this instance, 5 stamps would cost an additional $4, making the total for this transaction $15.99. Now you would simply hit Close. From your dashboard, you would click the Open button on your journal entry, and now you're able to see the entire journal aspects. And notice the price is reflective of what you paid, a total of $15.99.